Welcome everybody to Nerdio Commentaries Secret of Mana playthrough. This is Chaz with you. I'm going to be flying solo on this commentary here, as the game begins as a one-player game. Now we'll see what happens later on, but Secret of Mana was released, as you can see, in 1993 by Square Company, later to be renamed Square Enix, I believe. And this is actually one of the more memorable games I've played from the Super Nintendo era. It's kind of like your basic role-playing game where you go through, you encounter creatures, you gain experience, you level up, you can learn new techniques and new attacks and such. And we're getting into the brief little backstory here, just a little lead-in. You got darkness sweeping across the troubled land, and mana, of course, the source of magic, is starting to fade from the planet. So it's up to somebody to take up the cause and save the world, basically. Look at those little flamingos or something. I don't know what those things are. And can flamingos actually fly like that? I'm not sure. I'll have to look that up. But all in all, it's not a major plot point, and I would be surprised if flying flamingos are referenced again later in this. So I think we're going to get things started here. Now the game starts out, you can see there's 3 characters on the screen. As you begin, you only start with one character, the main hero, that dude on the right there. You encounter the other 2 at different parts throughout the game, and what's really interesting about this game is it starts as a one-player, but you can actually have multiple players in this. Now, for anyone that remembers back to the original Super Nintendo, it had 2 controller ports, and as you can see, there's 3 characters. How does that work, you might ask? Well, actually, you need to get some sort of peripheral. It was the Super Multi-Tap, something that you plug into controller port 2. Gives you a whole other stack of, like, I think 4 extra ones, and that way other people can join you. So now we get into a little bit more of a descriptive backstory with pictures and moving things and glowing lights. I'm distracted, sorry. However, this big floating fortress is the Mana Fortress, and apparently gods don't like mana fortresses. They decided to send some people to rough it up, bust it down a bit, as gods tend to do. And the war that ensued rocked the world, and mana as a whole appeared to vanish. But in the end, a hero with the mana sword, the mythical blade, destroyed the fortress, and all was right with the world again. Well, that was a quick ending. Oh, wait a minute, that's just the backstory. See, because history repeats itself, and those who fail history are doomed to repeat it. That's the old saying. We get a nice little bit of a Mode 7 action here, I think they call it, where you can zoom in on basically a flat image, but it looks like you're flying. And here we start with the adventure. 3 punk kids wandering around a waterfall. Apparently they're not supposed to be up there, because if the Elder finds them, they're gonna get in trouble. Oh, there's a ghost around apparently. That's even worse. So, for whatever reason, they're looking for something shiny near the falls. They don't know what it is. Could be a lost coin, could be an ancient treasure to save the world, we don't know. And for some reason, I fall. The little dunce cap kid doesn't, but I do. Luckily, I'm not that hurt. The water broke my fall, even though it's only chest deep. Yeah. Okay, so moving on. Apparently, can't walk through lily pads because those are impenetrable fortresses. Gotta find our way out of this little river. Now, the controls in this are pretty simple. I don't have the weapon yet, but when you do get the weapon, you use the B button for attacks. A button is, of course, used to talk and such. You can also use it as you're walking around just to do a dash. And what the frig? Ooh, spooky voices. Don't like it. Moving on. We can't get through that grass stuff yet. We need some sort of shiny type sharp object thing to cut it down. Hey, look what I found. Remove the sword, it says. Well, I've never disobeyed a disembodied voice before. Let's give it a shot. As it is our only way home, I do need this. Suddenly, a bright light penetrates your very soul. Wait, there's a ghost. So this is going to be very confusing to start with, and I don't believe it's referenced again until the very end of the game. who this mysterious spirit is. But the important thing is, my sword glows with power, and I have the power! Kind of. I also have hit points now, you notice. Alright, so this rusty old sword can at least cut through some of this grass stuff so I can finally get home. I'm late for supper. Mom's gonna beat me. No, I'm just kidding, folks. I'm an orphan. Ooh, a little rabbit. Rabbite, technically. And up until now, these creatures have not been in this area for some reason. Now, for all of a sudden, for I don't know why, they're suddenly showing up. And they really don't do too much to you. They're basically just here for experience points. Trying to get you to level up as you go through the game. 1 or 2 hits is enough to take it out. Now, unlike most games where you can just wail on something continuously, you'll notice that every time I swing, there's a percentage meter at the bottom. It starts at 0 and quickly goes all the way back to 100. That determines how strong your swing will be. So if you keep swinging away like, right one after the other, you're not going to do pretty much any damage to anything. You gotta wait for your arm basically to rebuild its strength so you can do another full power swing. As you do go further in the game, you can level up your ability with your sword and the other weapons that you find, so that you can actually start charging your attacks. And you'll see later on when I finally get to level 1 with the sword. So this area is pretty simple, it's not confusing to get through, it's just like a straightforward path. Just gotta find your way from the waterfall back to your village. One of these little rabbit guys coming at you. And my weapon skill just went up, as you can see. Level 1. So I can begin charging my attack. And, okay, that was a failure. I'm just going to kill this guy. I'm going to miss again. Holy frig! Would you... There we go. See? I'm under control. I got everything figured out. Uh-oh, another one. Yeah, I can take him. Okay. Moving on. I have to get past this guy. I know he's going to cause me trouble. I don't know if I can take him out. Oh, yeah, he runs away. That's it. So right there, you saw I only did 1 hit point of damage because it wasn't a fully charged swing. Ooh, 2 at once. It's a little slow going at this point. I just leveled up right now, and what's cool is once you level up, you do get your full hit points back. So you could be like brutally dead, and all you gotta do is kill things till you level up, and you'll be fine. Or eat a chocolate, which we'll get into later when the items start showing up. And no, not to worry, folks. One day I will actually connect with one of those charged hits. Maybe this will be the lucky guy right here. There we go. Super Strike, go! Yes! Rabbite got whacked. Now I'm home. This is Poto's village, I believe they call it. And my main thing here is to just talk to the elder. It's the dunce cap kid and the fat guy. Apparently they told him a story of what happened. They thought I was dead, and that's what they told the guy. And now he's yelling at us all for going where we shouldn't have gone. But, however, I get the blunt of his anger because I apparently took out the sword, which had a mystical energy field around it that prevented monsters from coming. Yeah, but I couldn't get home without it, so I mean, come on now. Yes, the Mana Sword protected the village from disaster, which is why little rabbits are now running free. It's quite a brutal disaster, I admit. Rabbits are the source of all evil. Friggin' fat kid beating me up! That's it. I got a sword, pal, although you can't use it in towns. Well, I don't know what to do. I can't fight a fat kid. Wait a minute. Earthquake. Uh-oh. Fat kid, what have you done? Stop walking! No! Stop walking! You're gonna do even worse! Oh, God. See you next time, folks.